least it wasn't the first Airbender. There's a lot of those, so I read that one. I love how M. Night Shyamalan stuck with the theme of confusing the audience, even without the interesting twist at the end. Hey, look, Airbender wasn't so bad. It made me forget how much I hated The Happening. The lighting...
We should do The Happening.
Oh, The Happening. The lighting was really solid. I could always see the actors. I don't think the racism was blatant at all. It was very subtly woven into the film. And you gotta respect the film that doesn't let being based on a popular television program get in the way of mispronouncing every single character's name. And then, let's see. If you're very creative, I couldn't even begin to imagine how to make this worse. And then, the final backhanded compliment. Well, at least I didn't get raped while watching it.
I wish I could say the same.
Oh,
yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
Something bad happened to me in my house.
Last night?
Ooh, this afternoon.
This afternoon? Oh my God.
Bandits.
Oh my God.
Home invasion bandits.
How many were there?
Just one.
With a mask? What mask on? What continent?
They were guys. They were fire people.
Did they fire rape you?
They were fire people.
You were fire raped?
They fire raped.
When they rape,
sorry.
When they rape, they do a different style of Tai Chi. They shoot fire penises at you.
They came and I was like, wait, are you guys Earth people? Because that would be wait a minute.
Hey, now.
Thank you so much for doing this podcast. It must have been
my pleasure.
so difficult.
My pleasure.
Well, I guess that wraps it up for episode 4. I mean, this movie, don't watch it.
Don't watch it. This doesn't even get so bad. It gets good.
No,
really.
there's never a good moment in it. It is bad. I mean, it's surprisingly bad. Special thanks to our guest, John Daly. You can follow him at John Daly on Twitter. You can watch his videos on Funny or Die. Oh, yeah. And we will be back next week to announce our next movie. It's a good one. In the meantime, visit our Facebook page. Just search How Did This Get Made, or leave us comments at the Earwolf page at earwolf.com. Thank you always for your emails and comments. And in the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter. I am at Paul Scheer. You are...
At Miss June Diane.
Jason does not have one.
I don't have Twitter.
All right. And special thanks to our engineer, Doug, who is always...
disdainfully at me.
Disturbed.
Engineer Doug, who is always doing an amazing job here. And a special announcement, the Earwolf iPhone app has been updated. Been implemented some bug fixes to improve performance and decrease crashing. It's a great app, and if you have it, make sure to update it. If you don't, check it out. It's free. So see you next week for our next movie announcement. That's all for now, and we'll leave you with this scene from The Last Airbender.
My people are dying, Sokka. You are in charge of others and responsibility.
Oh God.
Just finally show the Fire Nation that you believe in our beliefs as much as they
I was asking for it. Oh God. This bandit. Oh, bandit.
I will miss you more than you know.
And that is it. See you next time. Bye-bye.
This has been an Earwolf Media production. Executive producers Jeff Ulrich and Scott Ackerman. For more information, visit earwolf.com.
EarwolfRadio.com. The wolf dead.
The following episode of How Did This Get Made is sponsored by LegalZoom. They're helping keep the show free. If you go to LegalZoom.com and enter the code EARWOLF, you'll get a discount, and 100% of what you spend there comes directly back to the show. LegalZoom is the best place to help with your legal needs. They're not a law firm, but they provide self-help services at your direction. For more information on how to support this show and the rest of the Earwolf Podcast Network, go to earwolf.com/insider.
Now it's time for How Did This Get Made? We're gonna have a good time, celebrate some failure, not just be a hater. Cause you know you wonder, how did this get made? Let's roll in the mediocrity of subpar art. Perhaps we'll find the answer to the question, how did this get made?
Hello, people of Earth. Welcome to the 5th episode of How Did This Get Made, the podcast where we try to make sense of the movies that make no sense. I am Paul Scheer. You might know me as Andre on the TV show The League, or as JWoww from the Jersey Shore. I'm joined, as always, by Jason Mantzoukas, who you also might recognize from The League as Rafi. What's going on?
How are you?
Good. And, of course, June Diane Raphael, who you've seen on Flight of the Conchords and then Party Down. Welcome, June.
Hi, Pa.
But now you know we love crappy movies, especially the ones with huge budgets, big stars, and even bigger plot holes. Now this episode, we revisit an old friend who is a master of making films that make you ask the question, how did this get made? The one, the only, Nick Cage, in his latest film, Drive Angry, shot in 3D. That is the full title, shot in 3D. According to the poster, it is from the visionary, in quotes, director of My Bloody Valentine.
I didn't notice that. That's amazing.
Like, people were making comparisons between Gondry and Kubrick after My Bloody Valentine. He's a real visionary, this guy. He made a pickaxe come at you in 3D. Let's see here. Okay, so I kind of like this movie. It was kind of like Diet Crank.
I fucking loved this
It was
movie.
great, right?
Amazing.
It was pretty good. Nick Cage escapes from hell in a sweet-ass ride. Yes, he escapes in a 70s muscle car.
Nothing that this movie teaches us that there isn't another muscle car wherever you need one. Like, if your car blows up, trust me, you're within 100 yards of a muscle car.
And he comes back to Earth to hunt down the leader of a devil-worshipping group that has killed his daughter and kidnapped his granddaughter, all while being chased by Satan's accountant, who's trying to bring him back to hell. And also on this journey of retribution, Cage is joined by a feisty waitress who has some angry shoes of her own and wears shorts so short they make Daisy Dukes look long. And it really is the best movie ever made. It's very hard to find any clips of this movie, so this is just a little taste of the trailer.
They kidnapped my daughter. I am going to get her back.
I'm with you until the end.
He's no saint. She's no angel. I am going to kill you.
Between now and then, I'm gonna mess you up.
On February 25th,
Looking for something angry with attitude?
they'll show no mercy.
You can't stop me.
Drive Angry, shot in 3D. Rated R. In theaters February 25th.
It's amazing. This movie is like a Charlie Sheen fever dream. There are guns, tattoos, fucking muscle cars, decapitations, and beautiful women.
And what's amazing about it to me is, like, it would be a normal movie 100% if it wasn't for the fact that he's escaped from hell. Yeah, that's the part, and they pay so little attention to the fact that he escaped from hell that I was like, why even have that be part of this?
It was revealed as if we didn't know when the minute we got in here. Here to help us make sense of this movie is our friend. You've seen him on Adult Swim in the show Fat Guy Stuck in Internet. He's written for the Onion News Network. Please welcome Curtis Gwynn.
Hi.
Hello, Curtis.
Hey, how are you?
Good. So let's just start off. 45% on Rotten Tomatoes. Clearly the highest of any movie we've ever done.
Oh, yeah. And deservedly so.
Yeah. Wow. It was awesome. Were our expectations met? Exceeded? So I know that, Curtis, you did not love it. Or did you?
No, I did not love Drive Angry 3D. You know,
It's okay. You can say that. You can say that.
This is a safe
Yeah,
space.
this is a.
I feel like you guys are, I don't know what to say to you. Because I am a huge bad movie fan, and I was part of Best Worst Movie and helped the Troll 2 guys get that movie done. I'm in that doc, and I love crappy movies, and I'm a big Rotor and Troll 2, and I love these movies. This movie felt like, to me, a guy who says he likes movies like that, maybe has seen a bunch of them, and then I don't know, it's just sort of jugheaded. I just can't do it.
Did you not like that the main villain was like an Elvis Harry Hamlin? I couldn't get that out of my mind.
Yeah, I just thought, it's like nothing. The violence and
Wow.
Yeah,
You're like
speechless. I really am. I'll tell you what. The first third of the movie was completely like, okay,
Yes.
I'm starting to have a little bit of fun here, and but it just could not carry. It did not carry for me.
You
It got
didn't
very
like
boring.
the sacrificing scene?
Oh, with the weird sort of fish show parking lot orgy.
That scene to me was the most insane
low
thing ever.
budget Matrix raves.
Where some people were naked, some people weren't.
Only women
were naked sporadically.
And they were older women. I have a theory that they couldn't get a lot of people to be naked for that scene. Like, oh, you have to be naked. No. It was
but you know what
just a bunch of older 40-year-old women.
Was when Nick Cage when that waitress first approached him at the Roadhouse bar.
Yes.
And he was having sex with her while holding a bottle of Jack Daniels and a shotgun. She was sort of an age-appropriate actress, which I thought was like, oh wow, I'm surprised they did that. Like, she was blonde and big-boobed, but she was also in her, into her 40s.
Yeah.
Well, I will say I appreciate the fact that Nick Cage had no sexual chemistry with that hot girl in the movie, Amber Heard. Like it was never even alluded to that they could have sex.
Yep.
Which I think was good. I feel like Nick Cage.
She was thematically she was a surrogate for his daughter. It
yes.
would have been inappropriate.
You say there you go.
Right, but there were some choices like the age-appropriate waitress where it's like, oh, you guys held back a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I was like, wow, why show restraint there and not in the rest of the movie?
You are giving so much to the fans of this movie. She's like someone who gave the director a hand job in the parking lot. They're like, you got a part in the movie.
But now, meanwhile, he doesn't make out with Amber Heard, but he totally makes out with that girl from Eastbound and Down.
They had like hand sex.
He has, this movie posits the idea that anytime Nick Cage is in a shitty diner, a waitress hits on him to the degree of fucking him instantly.
Yeah.
That's like the crazy thing about this movie. It's like, okay, all the other characters are telling us this guy is has a ton of sex appeal.
Yeah.
But we're seeing Nick Cage at his thinnest.
Yep.
With that ratty...
I mean, he looks terrible. It's like, how are we supposed to...
He looks
the other
like
thing
a
is
salesman.
when William Fichtner is like, he's like, I'm looking for a man who's traveling, probably on foot, maybe 40. I was like, not 40 at all. Maybe 55. Maybe closing in on 60.
This guy knows his name. The accountant. Why is he being so vague?
Yes.
Why is he just going? This guy's name's Milton.
Yes.
He
has blonde hair.
Yeah. He's exactly what he talks like.
I wonder if it was in the script that he is that vague, or if William Fichtner was like, hey, I have an idea. What if I just talk very measured and I'm just like, I'm looking for someone?
William Fichtner, by the way, was amazing. Like he was like
great. I liked him a lot.
Like I feel like he was like Christopher Walken before Christopher Walken realized that he was Christopher Walken. Like he was just awesome.
He was wonderful.
But you know, the thing I'm most confused about is
Everything?
Nick Cage escapes from hell.
How?
But how?
Over that bridge.
Over
That's
that
how.
bridge.
Oh, in a hot rod.
But then
that's how.
he ends up in like Texas, and he has to go to Florida. Like, why couldn't he just pop out of hell at the right? Like, is there like an area where you can only pop out of hell? Because
You are looking for reason and logic.
This is a road to nowhere.
This is
this is a fool's errand, Paul.
And so Satan has muscle cars in hell that you could possibly steal.
Well, that is no duh.
But Satan
that's obvious.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
But according to this movie, Satan is just a really like low-key businessman. Who's like, oh, he's a warden. He's kind of put upon, like, oh.
Thoroughly enough, and I feel kind of embarrassed. Is this based on a graphic novel or something?
According to my knowledge, no. This is a new idea, but
it even just sank lower in my book. If it's not based on something, because they just introduce ideas like the God gun and stuff like as if we're supposed to be like, oh yeah, the God gun, the classic God gun from
That only has so many bullets.
So much, it's
God.
the God gun. Nicolas Cage manages before he escapes hell to steal the God gun, which can only which affects people from hell.
No, it kills everybody, but here's the thing.
Yes,
it kills anybody that you shoot it at, but it will kill a god.
But
you only shoot regular people with it. He never shoots a god with it.
And on top of that, the gun. But here's the thing: the bad thing about the God gun is if it shoots you, you don't go to heaven or hell.
Right.
You just
die.
disappear.
You cease to be.
Which brings me to the end of the movie, which is. Was the guy, the leader of the cult, was he a devil or was he an angel? Because when he shot him, he flew up into the sky, and then the heavens sucked him up.
And there was a Christ kind of, he turned into a Christ kind of figure for a second.
He did go up, not down.
Definitely went
And
up.
everybody else that he shot with that God gun.
For those of you just tuning in, this is a theological discussion.